What's up, guys? Silver here with another Halo Master Chief Collection Achievement Guide. This time we're doing part 2 of Keep Your Foot on the Pedrogas, which is complete all of Halo Reach's campaign missions on Legendary in under 3 hours. So to start off, we're going to go up this ramp on the left, take out these 2 jackals, which is the most important because we're going to steal one of their plasma pistols. Most of the time they have a plasma pistol, at least one of them. Sometimes they don't, though that's rare. If you don't have a plasma pistol over here from them, you could grab one of the plasma pistols from the grunts who were kind of jumping over the barrier to run straight at us right up the middle to start this mission. But we're going to just stay here, pick off these enemies. I'm kind of being a little aggressive because it is a speed run, so we're going to be kind of pushing forward as much as we can, as much as you're comfortable with. This is the toughest part of the mission, so if you're kind of taking a little more time to clear these guys out, that's fine. But we're going to stay over here towards the left. This is the safest point. And then once you clear out a good amount of enemies, we're going to move up on the left, and we'll be at this section, and we can kind of get a good vantage point to noob combo these elites. You can see the overcharged plasma pistol is taking down the shields of the elites, and then we can just finish them off with a headshot real quick. I'm being super aggressive right here. Don't do this if you're not comfortable doing this. Just stay up there in the much safer area and continue noob comboing them there. But if you're new to Halo, you don't know about the noob combo. It's basically a overcharged plasma pistol. You pick it up, hold the trigger down, and it will overcharge, and then once you release it, if your targeting reticle is over an enemy and it's red, it will lock onto them and take their shields all the way down, and then you can just finish them off with the easy headshot with the DMR. But we moved forward and grabbed that target locator, which will open up this door once you kill all those enemies behind you, and you will be able to move up. We're going to go to the right. We're ignoring all these enemies to the left. I picked off a grunt, but you don't have to do that. That was totally unnecessary. We're going to grab the rockets, so we have rockets and the target locator now. And we're going to move up to this section. We're skipping all of those wraiths and enemies behind us at this point. But once we get to this point, we're going to stop hugging the right, and you want to hug the left. We're going to hug the mountain on the left here, and you can see there's a rock on the right, and there's a pathway in between. So we're going to go over there and run past the enemies on the right. There were some enemies on your radar, but they don't see you, and we're going to move up here, and this guy usually doesn't see you either, so you can run up right behind him, hijack him. Sometimes he's an elite, sometimes he is a grunt. Either way, just hijack him. It doesn't matter. And we are going to move up here, and we're going to park. As soon as we could see the structure up ahead here, we're going to kind of target locate right in front of that base there, and that should kill the majority of the enemies in that area, and we'll be able to move forward. Don't move forward into that area just yet. Wait for the blast to subside, obviously. You don't want to be caught up in that. But you can move forward slowly as it's happening, and then we're going to park our ghost at the corner of this building, hop out, hop on top of the ghost, hop up to that control panel up there that we have to activate, and then we can actually activate it from behind. So normally you go up on top of the roof and activate it from up there, but you could actually activate it from down below. So we did that, and then we got back in our ghost right away, sped over here. We want to stop right about here so we could get our boost back, and then we're going to boost down and try not to boost in a straight line, so I'm kind of going back and forth a little bit, but go behind this rock, and eventually the ghost will follow you behind this rock on the same side you came from, so you want to go on the opposite side and wrap around that rock and then boost over in this direction. Sometimes the ghost doesn't attack you that quick. Sometimes he takes a little more time, so you have time to get your shields back, but that time he was very quick. But either way, we're going to activate this control, and you can actually activate that control through the wall again. You don't have to go to the side you're intended to activate it from. You can do it through the wall. That elite took my ghost, but fortunately we were able to quickly get it back. We're going to park right here. I like to park it there so I'm facing that direction. So when I want to leave, I can leave real quick. I don't have to turn around or anything. Grab the health if you need it. We're going to run in here and grab the rockets. There's more rockets with that dead Marine here at the middle level of this building. And then we're going to go up these stairs here. And there's going to be the switch on top of this building now, so we're going to activate that. And as you're activating the second switch on top of the roof here, you want to be aware of the fact that there's a dropship that's dropping off a bunch of skirmishers and grunts down below. So I was just kind of running around on top so I didn't get bombarded by that plasma turret from the dropship. And also I waited a little bit up there so I didn't have to worry about the grunts and skirmishers all being down there by my ghost when I dropped down. But now we're speeding away, and we want to hug the left here. So we want to get up on top of this rock, actually, so we could cut off the angle from this plasma turret on the dropship sooner than we would normally if we were going on the regular path. So you really want to hug that left corner and get up on that rock to do so. So we're going to go over here once we do that, and we're going to drive past all of those enemies. Those wraiths that we passed are still there, and they're being assisted now by some revenants and ghosts that were dropped off as well. So activate that switch, and then we're going to turn around and look at where the wraiths are throwing their wraith mortars. We don't want to get under those, obviously, so just keep going back and forth as you need to avoid those. And then we're going to turn around, and this door will open. It's kind of like a load zone, so it takes a little bit of time. And then we're going to move up here, and we want to target locate, not that elite. We want to kind of focus on the ground up there so it destroys all of those enemies up there, and we don't have to worry about dealing with them so much. And then we're going to grab our DMR because the target locator is now useless, so switch that out. We have rockets and a DMR from that crate now. And we're going to move up, and we're going to pick off any remaining enemies. You may not have killed all of them, but most of them are certainly dead at this point. And then there's sometimes a Bob elite over there in white. So we're going to ignore him. He disappears. He runs away after a little bit. And then we're going to move into here. There are 2 hunters, which are the main bad guys here. You want to focus on those guys, but there's also a handful of grunts and also 1 elite. So we want to pick those guys off as we need to. This guy's firing at me, so he's going down. And now we refocus on the hunters here. Obviously, this is why we picked up the rockets throughout the mission, was because there's these 2 hunters and they take a lot of damage. So we want to try to fire at them as efficiently as possible. I try to hit them in the chest directly, which is fairly easy because they're pretty big targets and they don't actually move evasively that much. They're pretty slow moving, so it's pretty easy to do so. Normally with rockets you would kind of shoot the ground that they're on to get the splash damage effect, which would be more than enough to kill them. But these guys have a lot of health and they're easy to hit, like I mentioned, so we will just shoot them and try to hit them directly. And there's more grenades on the wall where I picked up that shotgun, so grab those if you need them. I did miss some grenade throws and rocket shots, so definitely room for improvement on here. But you can see a nav point activates over here once you are able to move forward. So once that happens, once you've killed enough enemies and done enough damage, you can move forward, activate this, and you'll be able to move up the elevator. And I punched that guy and finished him off through the wall. How boss is that? But we're moving up the elevator here, and I have full health. So if you have full health, you could do what I'm about to do. If you don't, you could still do this, and it still might work, but you may die because the elite may melee you. So I'm going to run up here, and we're going to wrap around behind him. Sometimes you can get around behind him without him smacking you, and you'll be able to melee him like that. But sometimes he does smack you like he did here. So you could see if you didn't have full health, you probably would have died from that melee. If you don't have full health and you don't want to risk that, you could always just kind of more stealthily come up here and kill all of these enemies. You would want to take out the 3 grunts first if you didn't have full health and you were doing it more stealthily. And then you could grab the plasma pistol from one of the grunts and quickly noob combo the elite. But for this part, we're going to kill the jackals, and then we're going to noob combo that elite right there, run up this ramp, get on top of this ledge here. Then we're going to sprint across here as we get our sprint back. And you want to ignore all of the enemies. By taking that path and not going through the levels as intended down below, we're going to find that on the upper levels up here, there are no enemies. So we despawned all of the enemies up here by taking that path we took. And that is very useful because we don't have to fight them. And some of them up here are pretty tough. There's some elites with some heavy weapons, so thankfully we don't have to deal with that. We can just run right through, grab that DMR ammo on the wall, and then wrap around this corner. There's some rockets, and then there's some health on the wall here on the left. So 2 health packs over there. Rocket those 2 jackals, and then we'll be able to move forward. There's rocket ammo that we just walked over, and then there's going to be a bunch of units in the air, aerial units, you might say. And we have to take all those guys out to finish the mission. But the Phantom over here is going to actually drop off 2 invisible elites. So we want to get behind this crate and look over here. And hopefully we could take them out with 1 or 2 blasts. Unfortunately, I was unable to determine how many elites I took out with that second rocket. Not sure if there's 1, 2, or 0 elites remaining. So I'm going to be a little cautious and move up slowly here with my rockets now that I got my shield back. And we're going to rocket as we see the elites. There's 1. And I could see that I killed the another elite over there. So there's no elites remaining now. But when I was playing this, I actually didn't notice that, so you're going to see me be a little more cautious because I'm not sure if there's still 1 more elite remaining up there. So I'm kind of poking my head around the corner, not really overcommitting. Here's a grunt, which is sometimes on the map here, sometimes he's not, but easy enough to take out with a headshot. And there are still all of these banshees and this 1 phantom up ahead here, and Emil is doing his best to take him out by himself. But we're going to chip in here to speed things up because obviously we want to get the best time possible. So once those units are taken out, the mission will end and the cutscene will trigger, and we will be able to see what we got for our time. I should have mentioned earlier, the par time for this mission is 10 minutes, so we're going to come in under that. And if you come in under par time for all the missions on Legendary, you will easily get this achievement because the par times actually add up to 2 hours, 35 minutes. So if you just shoot for par time, you'll come in under 3 hours. This mission will be tough to come in under 10 minutes, I think, for most people. The beginning of the mission takes a good amount of skill to get through quickly, so if you come in over par time for this mission, don't worry about it too much. You could always make up for coming in over par time by a couple minutes by completing a mission a couple minutes under par time, so no worries if you're a little bit over. You could always make it up a little bit later, or you could have made it up already in Winter Contingency. That's a good mission to make up some time. Nightfall's a good mission to make up some time. And remember, we have that 25-minute buffer already, so if we hit exactly part-time for everything, we would have 25 minutes to spare. So here we are, came in at 9:22, so we saved 38 seconds, add it to the buffer. But that's it for speeding through ONI Sword Base. Join me next time when we speed through Nightfall. Thanks for watching, guys. If you found that video helpful, be sure to click on the scorpion icon to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. You could also check out some related guides by clicking on the videos on screen, and you could find links in the description for other social media links of mine. Stay tuned for more Halo guides, and I'll see you in the next one.